Hey everybody, Nerdcoids here once again with my Rosa guitar. Let's see, well, I think I better put it actually down here. Yes, I decided to just go ahead and complete it. It's fully assembled, although it needs to be fine-tuned a little bit. And there's some things that leave still a little bit to be desired. Mostly the nut here, which is that nut I bought from Vanson Guitars. It hasn't been properly filed yet, but that's something I can deal with later. It does affect the action and the tuning stability a little bit, especially when I go down to press the strings. I've installed the Wilkinsons. I don't know if you can see the decals on the back there, big W's, and of course the bridge, and of course I put in 4 screws. All in all, actually, the action on this isn't too bad. Now, you can't really tell on camera there, but action is a little bit high, and the bridge is tilting a little too forward right now, but it's still workable. I don't want something that does dive bombs or anything like that. I just want a fluttering bridge, but I want something stable. These strings are still stretching a little bit, but I plugged it in. I tried it the other day, and it works great. I'm going to do another separate video just testing out Rosa here, but I think all in all, turned out all right. Of course, that's the homemade decal, and I know you can tell that still the seams of the decal itself. I just wanted to get this thing together. I didn't do the whole thing of making the seams go away and polishing this properly. I decided, well, it's just a test, and it's for myself, and it's not like I'm going to be gigging with this thing. I think in and of itself, it's rough and tumble, and it's not perfect because I scratched it up here and all that. I have it in an open tuning. I have it in an open, A minor, because this is tuned down to A. And I have to say that this was an interesting experience. I did most of the assembly a few days ago, just before I started going back to work, after coming back from a wonderful vacation in Spain, which is why I look a little darker now. The neck is by DC Kunkel. I think I mentioned that in an earlier video. Nice neck. It's not a modern C shape. I think it's actually a D shape. It's not exactly a baseball bat. It's thicker than that, but it's still quite comfortable. This is a loaded pick guard from Dragonfire, and these are ceramic pickups. They sound great. And I got everything right on the first try. Everything is wired up properly, including the football jack, so I didn't have to take this apart, but I like the look of it. It's very nice. I still have to figure out how to one of those back plates, how to fit it properly to make sure that the holes here, so I gotta find a way to maybe make a modern slot for the back cover and put that on there so I don't have to take it out all the time. Yeah. Well, you're going to hear it. I'm going to make a separate video about all this. What are the lessons that I learned about putting together my own guitar? You need patience, and you also need time. Time and patience, they go hand in hand. Time to actually take the time out to do stuff, and also to have the patience to wait for stuff to happen. There is a few things that I probably would do different. Actually, I could probably still do it. I'm talking about, of course, lacquering the face of the headstock here. This is a nitrocellulose. I used Watco, which is probably not the highest quality nitrocellulose lacquer. Probably not as good as the stuff as DC Kunkel used for the rest of his neck. I just realized that I could have just, sanded this down with 320 grit, get rid of all of the lacquer on it, and tape everything off. This was before putting the hardware on it. Taping everything off and just using an acrylic lacquer. It would have made the decals a lot nicer looking, a lot thicker and more uniform. Although I do kind of like this. Another lesson that I've learned the hard way, because I went through a lot of screws, and Dollarama tools, screwdrivers and all that, 99% of them are absolute junk. They'll strip all of your screws, so they're no good. And the drill bits that go with them, they're no good too. Go through the trouble and, buy decent stuff. All right, well, here's Rosa. Yep, headstock. No, it's not perfect. I decided, what the hey. I've given up on, I'll probably fix the headstock later on. I might actually, because I have a few other copies of the decal, I might just take all the lacquer off the top and use a polyurethane or a acrylic lacquer. Anyway, sound demo now. Interesting thing about baritone guitars, they inhabit a space between a regular guitar and a bass. This is typically they're tuned down to a D or an A. This one's an A minor because I've got a 28 and 2/3 of an inch scale on this, and I've got some pretty thick skin. Yes, I have thick skin. I'm very thick-skinned. Also, these are thick strings, heavy gauge. They are GHS boomers. Tried to get something as mellow as possible because I've been hearing a lot of baritone guitars and strings just sound so overdriven. These are actually not bad. They're kind of in the middle of the tonal spectrum. I do have some chromes from a 7-string set that goes up to a 70, so they're similar in gauge to this. I believe this is 14 to 68s. The nut's not perfect on it, so there's still some fine-tuning to do with this, but it's in good enough operating condition that I can, do somewhat of a serviceable demo on it. It's roughly intonated in, so it shouldn't be too out of whack when I come up here above the 12th fret. And let's just get things started. Let's go on the neck pickup, and I'm going to do, I suppose, the bass part of it, because usually when you do leads, unless you're doing power chords, you're not really going to be using much of these two up here. You're going to be using mostly the bridge. But here goes. This is front pickup, and I'm doing a bass thing. Let's do fingerstyle first. I will put both of these on here. We can also do some tic-tac bass, I guess, or I can at least try. All right, that's it for the bass part. You could use your imagination to imagine what else you could do with this. You can do also the chicken picking with the back pickup, like... Sorry for the Brett buzz. Once again, even in the baritone range, you can still get a little bit of that. Still sounds like a Strat, so. Okay, we skipped a couple of combinations here, and okay, let's try a little bit of reverb. I'm going to try and do something different. I'm going to multi-track this guitar, and every time I want to choose another setting, I'll do that afterwards. I'll edit it in. Now I'm just imagining, wonder what this would sound like with a delay, a slapback delay, a tape delay, if you will. Not very good at the guitar yet. All right. 2 back pickups, right? Yeah, 2 back pickups. Wow, I really suck. All right, well, that's going to be it for now, because, I mean, the possibilities of this guitar are just too numerous to go through in a 10-minute video, and my camera can only take 10 minutes at a time. So this has been the Rosa Baritone Stratospheric guitar. Thanks for watching. As usual, questions, comments, suggestions below. I might end up doing another video later on about this once I'm finally refine it, and maybe have somebody look over it and maybe try and fix some of my mistakes. Anyway, cheers, folks.